Hello, welcome back to the channel. DJ here as usual, speaking to you today about what's happening across Germany and England. Yes, and I'm not talking about the football. No. I'm talking about yesterday at 6 a.m. in the morning. Hundreds of people across Germany awoke to police officers at their door, knocking on their door. Their only crime to have openly made critical or offensive comments on the internet, many about specific politicians. This is not a scene from the Third Reich or the German Democratic Republic, East Germany, but from the Federal Republic, today's Germany in the 21st century. Officers from the Federal Criminal Police Office, even that's is intimidating, isn't it? The Federal Criminal Police Office intend to make approximately 170 visits, this was yesterday, to investigate hateful or insulting comments made online. Suspects have had their tablets, their phones confiscated, their homes searched. This operation has been taking place annually for several years now to enforce paragraph 188 of the German Criminal Code. What is it? This was amended in 2021 to make it a criminal offence to insult a political figure. Wow. No insult in America, Donald Trump or Starmer here, of course. But in Germany, it's a criminal offence to criticise, to insult a political figure. Punishable by a maximum sentence of up to 3 years in prison for saying some hurty words against a politician. And let's face it, most politicians deserve their hurty words. According to the office, the Federal Criminal Police Office, there are 10,732 crimes related to online speech just last year. 10,732 crimes relating to online hate speech last year, 2024. And that's an increase of roughly 34% on 2023. Compared to 2021, the numbers have quadrupled. Naturally, the vast majority of the posts being targeted by police come from the right wing of the political spectrum. The left wing cannot accept criticism on the internet. The Federal Office of Criminal Investigation also encourages citizens to support the police in combating so-called hate crimes. Anyone who encounters hate speech online or becomes a victim of hate speech should report it to the local police. Report hate posts to social network providers and request them to delete criminal content, the Federal Criminal Police Office states. While it shies away from doing anything about its violent crime problems, the German state is not taking offensive memes or crude insults lightly. North Rhine-Westphalia Interior Minister Christian Democrat Herbert Ruhl warned digital arsonists must not be able to hide behind their phones or computers. Anyone who thinks anything is allowed on social media is seriously mistaken. Ruhl also complained that people have forgotten the difference between hate and opinion. Maybe they have, but criminal arsonist because they've said a word onto the internet. It's going too far. Surely the left woke have gone crazy. Even off-colour humour can be treated as a criminal offence in Germany. No wonder Germany's got this reputation of being a nation of people who have no humour. Just 2 days ago, a pensioner was convicted of posting a satirical image involving Nazi imagery. Stefan Nehoff, a 64-year-old former Bundeswehr sergeant, so he was a soldier, was initially hauled before court last year for calling then economic minister Robert Habeck a professional idiot. he was taken to court for calling somebody a professional idiot. This case was fortunately dropped, but he has since been slapped with an €825 fine for sharing images on X that the judge failed to find sufficiently funny. Under German law, it is illegal to use Nazi era imagery unless it is decided to be clearly critical. Germany's censorship regime is so brazen it almost beggars belief. But it's far from an isolated or even the worst example of free speech crackdown in Europe. Similarly, in the UK, the situation has become comically authoritarian in recent years and has only deteriorated under the rule of Labour Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. Recently, we've seen a spate of attacks on free speech. In May this year, it was reported that back in 2023, the British Thought Police had paid a visit to the home of Julian Fawkes. He was a retired police officer himself. In the body cam footage released last month, officers can be seen searching Fawkes' house, rummaging through his wife's underwear drawer and inspecting newspaper clippings about his daughter's funeral and her death in a tragic road accident. They also leafed through his bookshelf, which contained books by Douglas Murray. The title was The War on the West. One policeman was heard tutting over his very Brexity, a made-up word by this police officer, book collection. Fawkes was also handcuffed by 6 officers, locked in a cell and interrogated for 8 hours. To make matters even more absurd, the reason he was investigated in the first place was because he had posted, in a concerned manner online, the rise of anti-Semitism in UK. He was worried about the anti-Jewish left in the UK. And he did a meme on it, and he 8 hours interrogated and incarcerated in a police cell. They're not nice places, I tell you. I've been in a couple, and even for a few minutes, they're there to break you, those cells, before they start investigating. Interview rooms they call them, but they're interrogation rooms. Thankfully, Fawkes did eventually receive an apology from Kent Police, as well as compensation of £20,000 for the ordeal. But others have been less fortunate. Perhaps the most notorious case of policing language in the UK is the arrest and conviction of Lucy Connolly. The childminder and wife of a Conservative councillor in Northampton was sentenced to 2 years and 7 months in prison because of a tweet she made in the aftermath of Axel Ruda-Kubana's slaying of 3 little girls last summer. Connolly, whose own son died 14 years ago, called for the mass deportation and said that police could set fire to all the asylum hotels for all she cared. Despite the post only being on lasting for a matter of hours before she deleted it, it seemed and was deemed an incitement worthy of more than 2 years imprisonment, 2 years as it was 7 months, and she's since been denied early release to be with her ill husband and her 12-year-old daughter. Freedom of speech, whether it is hostile, whether it is insulting, whether it is bad language, is not a criminal offence and should not be made a criminal offence. I'm not for it myself. I regard myself as a Christian. I am very active with my church. I would not use bad language myself. I would not knowingly put insulting language out. But I would also not be imprisoning people for what they say, unless they're calling deliberately, to kill someone or set fire to something. That's different. Yeah. I think we all recognise that. These cases are part of a sprawling, exhausting pattern. In February, a grandmother was visited by police after she made posts on Facebook criticising Labour politicians in the UK, involving in WhatsApp's messaging scandal. Do you remember that they were saying nasty things, the Labour politicians, thinking they were only talking to themselves, but they were doing it on WhatsApp and it was leaked. And the police also began investigating the politicians in question, but concluded no action should be taken. A month later, 2 parents were arrested by 6 uniformed officers and held in a police station for 8 hours because they complained about their child's school in a WhatsApp group. In last November, Alison Pearson, a journalist for The Telegraph, had a knock on the door because of a post she made and swiftly deleted a year before, misidentifying supporters of a Pakistani political party in Manchester as supporters of Hamas. Pearson was invited to attend a voluntary police interview, which she declined, and no further action was taken. Essex police have since refused to apologise for the incident and even praised their officers for their valiant attempt to maintain public confidence. It did not maintain public confidence, it did the opposite. In the UK, you don't even need to actually commit a crime in order to be treated like a criminal. The baffling experience of the non-crime hate incidents, they call them NCHIs, means that anything vaguely upsetting, offensive or controversial said online or otherwise said can see your name end. You can see your name end on a police database without you even knowing it. They don't have to tell you that they've put you on a database for a non-crime hate incident. Political offences have included a 9-year-old child calling a classmate a retard. It can include beeping your horn too loudly, a dog pooping on someone else's lawn in a racist way, or being given a bad haircut. The Free Speech Union estimates roughly 65 people every day are recorded as having committed a non-crime hate incident, and around 30 of them are thought to be arrested daily for what they say online. 30 a day. Multiply that by 365 days. 10,000. Over 10,000 people a year arrested for what they said online. It's become frighteningly commonplace for people to receive a knock on the door over memes or even private messages, being questioned by police or having their details put on a database that could damage their lives, the rest of their lives, forever. You go for a job and you need a data protection form that says it's okay with children or with vulnerable people, and they go, "Oh no, you've got a non-crime hate record," and you may not have known, and you're forbidden to work at a youth club, work in Scouts, Girl Guides, even St John Ambulance, and you didn't even know. Disgraceful and worrying, and should be illegal. What we're witnessing both in Germany and the UK is a steady normalisation of censorship of the state deciding which opinions are acceptable and which ones must be punished. Insults, satire, criticism of the government and even the poorly worded jokes are being treated as serious crimes, while violent offenders continue to roam free. We're quickly re-entering an era where expressing the wrong opinion could ruin your life or even put you behind bars. This is well and truly the age of thought crimes. Comments, please. I love to read your comments. Press the like button if you like these posts, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It doesn't cost you a penny. nor a dime, not even a rupee. It's totally free to subscribe. So smash that subscribe button, will you please? It helps me. So until later this afternoon, be safe, be good, and it's goodbye from DJ for now. So see you in a moment. Bye.